welcome to Stacking the Shelves for the last couple weeks. I have been doing these more like every 4 weeks. I think this one is more like every two, just because I did get a whole bunch of more books for review, so I thought I'd go ahead and go through those. I did go back on NetGalley. I was getting pretty caught up on my previous review books. You guys know I did another big haul of review books. I think it was in May. I was looking for books now that were going to be coming out publishing in like the November, December timeframe. And I was surprised that there were a lot available for review that are even publishing out into January, March next year. So, with all that being said, let me go ahead and go through them. The first two books I got were books 17 and 18 in the October Day series. The first one of those is Sleep No More, book 17 by Shauna McGuire. This does come out very soon. In fact, at the posting of this video, it will probably already be out because it publishes September 5th. And I did just finish it, and I know my opinion is going to be unpopular here, but I thought it was one of the weaker October Day books. I really didn't like the plot device she used, and I won't give spoilers for any of the series, but if you read book 16, you know what happened at the end of that book, and I did not like how that was carried into this book. I'm starting to feel like this series needs to just be done at this point, but we'll see. Because the next book I got for review was The Innocent Sleep, which is book 18 in the October Day series, and this publishes October 28th. And I will be reading that in a couple of weeks, so we'll see if that redeems the series or not. They are very well written. Shauna McGuire is an amazing writer. I just wasn't very excited with where she took the plot. I felt like it was really unnecessary, and a review will be posted for that shortly, so you can agree or disagree with my opinion on that. The next book I got was one that just sounded really interesting to me, and that is a book called Moth Town by Carolyn Hardiker. This publishes on November 14th, and it looked interesting, and I honestly can't remember that much about it yet, but I think it's more like a dark fantasy type of book, and I thought it would be a fun read. All right, the next one I got is another Kelly Armstrong book. I've been reading a lot of Kelly Armstrong books. There's actually multiple on my books for review, and that is Cocktails in Chloroform, which is a novella in the A Rip Through Time series. I actually did not realize this was related to the Rip Through Time series when I got it to review. I did read the first book in that series, and I thought it was a little slow, so I did not continue that series, but we'll see. I'll read this novella and see if it makes me want to go back and read book 2. This publishes December 31st, so it does have a few months before it comes out. The next one I got for review I was super excited about, and that is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. This comes out January 16th, and I really, really loved Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia Fairy. It was like a perfect, adorable, cozy fantasy with wonderful characters and a little romance and a lot of adventure and new types of fairy. And I'm very much looking forward to the second book in that series, so I was very excited to get this. All right, the third one I got, and I should have probably gone back and looked at some of these more obscure ones that I just picked up because I can't remember what they're all about. But the next one I got is The Morningside by Tia Obrecht, and this publishes March 19th of 2023, or 2024, sorry, quite a bit out. We're still like, I don't know, what is that, 4 or 7 months out from when it comes out. I don't know much about this. Maybe I'll put a little blurb down below here and you can read about it. But I do know I read it. I thought it sounded really interesting and I went ahead and picked it up. The next one I got for review is another Kelly Armstrong book, and it is a standalone, and that is Hemlock Island. This comes out very soon, so it publishes September 12th, and I am reading it right now. I will say I'm about 25% of the way through, well, maybe more like 18 or 19% of the way through the book, and it is very scary. I am not a huge, like, I like fantasy horror, like dark fantasy, but I'm not a big fan of like serial killer, stalker, modern type of horror. Like Saw would be right out for me. This one is very scary. It's right now the people are like trapped in this isolated island with no way to get out of this house with a killer around, like leaving body parts and stuff. And I was very scared last night. I happened to be at home by myself last night, and I needed to check the doors and leave the lights on. I'm going to be honest. It was very scary. I've heard the ending is pretty weird and twisted and Twilight Zone like, so I'm looking forward to that. But I was not expecting Hemlock Island to be as scary as it is. So I'll have to update on that and see if it gets better. I just really don't like these super creepy, like feeling trapped with a killer around type of stories. All right, next one I got for review was Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. This comes out November 7th. I probably don't even really need to talk about this one, but this is the prequel to, I can't remember the name of it. The other Travis Baldree book with the ogre that makes the tea shop that I'm absolutely blanking on. This is a prequel to that, and it's about the ogre as she's, doing her mercenary job before she decides to do. This is gonna drive me nuts. Before she decides to do that, I was looking for my phone to look it up, but I'm recording on my phone, so that would be pretty tough. Anyways, so this is a prequel to the last Travis Baldree book that came out that was super, super popular that I'm blanking on. I'll think of it eventually. And then the last book I got for review is Not Quite a Ghost by Anne Ursu. This comes out January 16th. Anne Ursu, I believe, also wrote Breadcrumbs, which was a fairy tale retelling that I really, really enjoyed. And I think I read like one other book by her that I also enjoyed. So I was kind of excited to get this and just read a middle grade fiction. I haven't read a lot of middle grade fiction now that my son is older. But I thought it would be fun to read. And then I did borrow one audiobook from the library, and that is Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff. I finished that as well, and that was good, but not great. I just felt like it didn't really go deep into Lovecraft mythos. It more was about racism in America and this white family that was really into worshiping eldritch powers, and this Black family that kind of got pulled into their mess. So it was good. I liked it. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was a lot more social commentary on racism, which I guess if you want to call racism a sort of madness, then maybe there's a lot more parallels back to like that whole Lovecraftian Cthulhu style, like subtle madness. I don't know. But yeah, it was okay. It just wasn't my favorite, and I don't plan on reading I believe the follow-up book got released. I think there was a pretty big gap between the books, and the follow-up book to that series is supposed to release sooner. It has this year, and I just don't plan on following up on that. Yeah, it's really bothering me that I can't remember the name of the Travis Baldree book. I'll make sure when I do this video, I will put it next to Bookshops and Bone Dust so that you guys know what book I'm talking about, because sometimes my brain just doesn't work very well. So that is that. Those are the books I got in the last couple weeks here. Yeah, I'm not quite sure when I'm going to decide to post this. I might post it right after the Best of Books of August, or I might wait a couple weeks, but we'll see. At the time when I'm recording this, we are heading into Labor Day weekend, and I will be well, I'm not starting school. My son will be starting school. I am still working at my new job, which has been going fairly well. You might see I finally cleaned up the Legos back here. I did rebuild and sell some more Lego sets. I'm taking a break on that for a while I start my new job and try to make time to record some videos. Yeah, it's been kind of busy. It's a little bit tough. I've been trying to go into work like 3 days a week, and I'm going to different locations. So there's like a corporate location for Cargill and then some lab locations. And it has been a little bit hard to adjust to that. It's just, I lose a lot of time, right? So it's like almost an hour down to the corporate office and then about 40 minutes down to the lab area. And so it's a lot of time lost. And in some cases, it's definitely worth it. I really like working with the lab people and being on site in the lab. In other cases, sometimes I end up go down there and I just sit there in a cube and talk to people who are in Europe and stuff. So in that case, it's not as worth it. But I'm working through it and trying to figure out how best to coordinate all of that. Hopefully by the winter, I'll only be going in a couple days a week. It'll depend on what the need is and how bad the weather and the roads are. So yeah, good times. Other than that, yeah, I talked lot more in my best books of August about Gen Con, other things we're doing with the family right now, and I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope that you guys got a lot of great books to read, and I will talk to you next month with the best books of the month and stacking the shelves. There's a possibility if I get a whole bunch of books, I might do a second stacking the shelves later this month, but don't hold your breath on that one. And I hope you all have a great month of reading, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.